Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be letting colored pencils choose my June TBR. I have seen this done once before personally by Allie, so I'm going to tag her video down below if you want to go look at it. However, before we get into this video, if you guys enjoy it, please give it a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any more of my videos. And we'll just get right into it with the first pencil and the first book. A few disclaimers before I start. One, my brother is mowing outside. Two, there's dogs kind of in different areas, different rooms. So if you hear the barking or anything like that, I apologize. And if you hear the lawnmower, I also apologize. But now is my only time to film this video. So we are going to just start by picking a colored pencil. Whatever book corresponds with that color the best is going to be the book that I choose. I'll give a little review or overview of what that book is, and I think we're going to pick out about seven or eight books. So let's start with the first color. I got kind of a lot of different colors, kind of the whole rainbow, and I think after, wow. I think after this kind of color, maybe I'll set it aside just so I'm not getting all of the same. This is Moon Yellow, so it's kind of like a white yellowish color. Let's see, this one is pretty close actually. What else is this one? No. This is my TBR cart, by the way. Did I say that? This is my TBR cart. I have shown this cart several times before, but honestly, I think this is our closest color to this pencil, and I think that's me getting lucky. So, Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I have never read a book by her, and this book specifically, I've heard fantastic things about, both like emotional, but also just the storyline in general, I think is very sweet. It is a romance novel, and it's only about like 400-ish pages, about 350, so not too long. And I'm pretty sure how this one works is our main character, Winifred, finds out that she's pregnant after a one-night hookup with our male main character named Beau. Beau is like ready to step up to the table, and she's kind of going through this journey of she's not really sure how she's feeling about everything. It's very scary, but he helps her get through that. So I'm really excited for this cute little romance novel, especially because it's getting into summer. So this is the first book. Let's put them, I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. We're just going to keep them down here for right now. We're going to set this color aside, and we are going to go on to the next color. Ooh, so orange red, but more specifically like an orange. This book right off the bat is quite similar. Possibly Never by Jessa Hastings. I think that's a pretty good color. And yes, so we have three books that are pretty close in color. I'm gonna try to choose one that's primarily orange, especially on the back of this book. I feel like that's a lot of the same. Summer Romance. This is like the perfect color of her dress, so I'm tempted to lean towards that because looking at this, there's only a few oranges. Everything else is kind of a different color, so I'm gonna say no to this one. Let's decide on this. Let me see if there's, it's just not quite the same color. Up top it kind of is, but this is like the same exact color as her dress. I'm gonna go with Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I never know how to say her last name. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. This is a new author for me as well. So Summer Romance is a fiction novel. Our main character is Allie Morris. She is super organized. However, her life has fallen apart recently. Her mom died 2 years ago. Her husband left her, and she just hasn't like been putting herself together or anything like that until she decides to go out, like actually get ready, take off her wedding ring, everything like that, and then she bumps into this guy named Ethan. So I can see like a romance happening there, but just based on like the first little part of that synopsis, that there's probably going to be a lot of life lesson and like growth within the story, which I'm really excited for. I've heard Annabelle is a really good author, and she just came out with another book. I think it's a Taylor Swift reference, but I can't remember what the name of the book is. I'll pop it up on the screen, but that is a new book that she came out with, so this will be my first one. And again, summery, it's June, so I'm really excited, and hopefully I enjoy this author because she definitely has a lot of books that I want to get into and read. Ooh, this is a powder blue. It's definitely like a light blue, and I have a lot of light blues on here. We have this new book, which I actually need to talk about, so maybe we'll choose this one. But we also have Out of the Woods. Oh, not quite. What About My Friends? I really want to read this, but yeah, it's a little bit too dark. We have Throne of Sea. Nope, not quite same color. What about Ready or Not? I knew this had some blue, but I think that this blue definitely takes over because it's the entire page. And this is actually an exciting book to talk about because I had a person on Instagram DM me and ask if she could send me her book, Katie Harden, and I was like, of course, I would love to. So this is called Defining Family. This book follows Mia, and she's in a terrible relationship with her parents, and it's kind of taken over her whole life. She's a senior in high school, and she decides to have fun, kind of do some risky, not so smart things. However, her parents are fed up with it, and they send her to a behavioral program where she helps out at like an animal rescue shelter. She starts to scheme on like how to get out early. However, as time goes on, that all kind of changes, and there's a lot of self-growth, finding confidence, and spark up of a romance with a guy who actually cares about her. So I am really excited to see how this book is. This is the first time I've ever gotten sent a book by the author, and so I let her know that I was going to have this on my channel at some point, in that I would give my real and raw reactions to the book. So I'll let you know. But yeah, this is kind of a fun one, and it definitely goes with our blue color, so that's exciting. Book 3 is done. On to the next one. I really hope I get some brighter colors in the mix. We'll see. Ooh, I love this color. This is baby pink, and I of course have a lot of pink on my shelf, and this is so funny because this might be the one that I go with. That matches. Wow, are you kidding me? We have that one. This have like that bright pink. That's kind of pink. This one I think is a little bit of a different tone, yeah. Okay, so we have these two options. We have Talking at Night or Summer in the City. I really think that this matches that heart so well. How am I gonna ignore that? I'm gonna have to go with Summer in the City, and this is actually a good thing because I did actually start this book. I think I'm on chapter 3. And I kind of gave it a soft DNF. I kind of put it on the back shelf for a little bit just so I could finish some other books and get some of my May TBR done. However, this has brought it back. So I did enjoy like the first 2 chapters. It's definitely like a cliche, somewhat cringy book, but I've heard good things about it. I know that Alex Astor is usually a like, or has been a fantasy young adult series writer, so this was like her first romance. So yeah, next book, Summer in the City. Let's pick out 2 more, and then we'll decide if we want to pick out any more than that. This is a Scarlet, so kind of like a darker red, reddish orange. We're definitely getting back into this one. Let me see if this matches any. That one definitely is not quite as dark. What other ones do we have? Again, I feel like this book is kind of matching all of those colors. definitely on the back too, and it's more of the darker shade. What about Never? On the back, and then the front definitely has some of that oranginess. So I think we're gonna pick up Never by Jessa Hastings. I've had this book on my cart for an awful long time. This is Never, and it's like a Peter Pan retelling. Now, Peter Pan was one of my favorite Disney movies growing up, and I read Peter Pan, I've watched all the movies, all of the kind of versions, so when she came out with this book, I immediately picked it up. Didn't even know who Jessa Hastings was. Then put that aside, I just never picked it up because I was seeing some bad reviews. I don't know what those reviews were, I just saw that they weren't high, and went on to Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, and I loved Jessa's writing. So I have been interested in reading this because I'm curious if it'll give me that kind of writing or not, because I miss it, but we're gonna find out, because Never is the next book on our June TBR. It is about 350 pages, so it's not too bad. I'm hoping it's one of those books that kind of go fast, because with her books, I just never want to put them down. I just want to keep reading. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's all I have to say. We'll do one more and then we'll see where we're at. There's two specifically that I want. Oh, and I think this might get us one. This is Ultramarine. So it's a deeper blue. And immediately, I want to read this so bad. So bad. It's not really that color though. It's a little bit at the top, definitely more on the spine. I think we're gonna go with this one. Is that cheating? It's definitely a deeper blue. Oh, you guys. Goodness gracious. You guys, I didn't see this book. Oh my gosh, and I have this one too. I couldn't even see the, well, this doesn't go with any of those colors. This color definitely is more Enchantra, isn't it, than this one? Guys, I'm gonna have to switch it. All of that for, yeah, see, that's definitely more this book. Forget it, we're not doing My Friends, I guess. As of right now, we're definitely gonna do one more anyway. We're gonna choose Enchantra for this color because it definitely matches more honestly and truthfully, and I wanna read this one too. So Enchantra is the second book after Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. It is a fantasy, kind of romantasy, dark romance book. It talks about like phantoms and ghouls, and it's just a very cool concept that I have not read before, and this is the second one. So this will be our 6th book in June for Ultramarine, and then we'll choose one more. Okay, I want to make sure I'm still in the camera. Ooh, this is a weird color. Chrome yellow. Well, we have some yellow, so let's take a look. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna go with that one. This one. Possibility. Not really. Not really. Not even really that one. Ooh. Well, I think this book is finally getting picked because that is the only one that I can find that's closest to this yellow. Talking at Night by Claire Daverly. New author, again, never read one by her. This is a fiction book. This is a second chance romance. So Will and Rosie met when they were teenagers. They fell in love. They were complete opposites. However, something happens pretty, like it just says tragedy strikes, so something big happens and it kind of pulls those two people apart until later they find each other again and they kind of remember why they fell in love with each other. And I just love second chance romances. The fact that this is a fiction is really hopeful for me. It's very exciting because I feel like that means it's not just some romance book. We're also gonna get some of those life lessons and that deeper aspect of the story. So Talking at Night will be our last book for June. Let's do a little recap. I'll show you the colors with the books and we'll end out this video here. Now, I love that this kind of gives me something to go off of. In May, I chose 6 books, and out of the 6 books, I actually read 5 of them. So that's very hopeful for how this month will go. And I do feel like a lot of the books on my cart now are books that I'm looking forward to, so that's really nice. I've kind of decluttered and unhauled a lot of books, and you would have seen that throughout some of my videos, but now they're really like books that I could see myself reading pretty soon. Going through the books, the first one that we got was Moon Yellow, and for Moon Yellow, I did Out on a Limb. Then we have Summer Romance by Annabelle. And for this one, this color was orange red, and it's like the perfect shade of her dress. Then we have an exciting book, and that is Defining Family by Katie Harden. And it's this light blue called Powder Blue. Summer in the City by Alex Astor. Perfect shade of pink for that heart. This was Baby Pink. Then we have Scarlet, and for Scarlet, I chose Never by Jessa Hastings. It definitely matches that top cloud and then on the back pretty well. Ultramarine, and we chose Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. I'm really excited about this one, and I hope I love it as much as I loved Phantasma. That was such a good book. And then lastly, we have Talking at Night by Claire Daverly, and this very odd chrome yellow color. Those are all of the books for my June TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know down below. That way we can maybe do this again if you want. I love TBR videos similar to this, like the blindly choosing, the TBR prompts, because it forces me to choose books that I normally wouldn't, and my genres are kind of always scattered. It changes it up for the month. However, thank you guys for sticking towards the end, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.